guys, we're going to move on to the next topic and actually talk about the NBA Hall of Fame. And, the most recent, the headlining names of the class of the NBA Hall of Fame are going to be Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, and Yao Ming. And these guys have been polarizing figures as far as the world of sports for years on years on years. With Allen Iverson being 11-time All-Star, Shaq being 15, and Yao Ming being 11-time All-Star. Shaq winning 4 rings in total, and a season MVP along with Allen Iverson. And then Allen getting 4 scoring titles, Shaq having like three or so. These guys are just have been great for the game of basketball, especially growing worldwide. So what have these 3 guys in basketball meant to each of you individually? Rudy, we'll start with you. What do you think? And about them getting inducted in the Hall.
First of all of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. So that's not even really an argument on my part. I think all of them deserve it. I think that they made the right decision picking these guys. I don't know who else was up for consideration, but I couldn't really see anybody beating out these 3 as far as being the headliners. I start with Yao Ming. Yao Ming, although there is Dirk Nowitzki and I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, but Yao Ming actually got me interested in like the international game. Like Yao Ming made me like realize that there are people that aren't from the United States that can play basketball. And growing up, there wasn't like many people that I met that didn't like Yao Ming. Like Yao Ming at some point was everyone's not favorite player, but everyone loved him. Everyone would turn on the Rockets when they used to wear the old pinstripes with the rocket going across with my man Steve Francis, and just to see him and Yao Ming play. Like he's one of the reasons I actually started to love basketball even more. That was when I was growing up. I was a little bit younger. I didn't really watch basketball like that, but whenever Yao Ming was on TV, I wanted to see. I wanted to see Yao Ming, and unfortunately his career ended due to that foot injury that he couldn't really shake. But Yao Ming was a great player, and he was nice to watch. Then you get to my man, the big cactus, the big Shactus, Kazam, whatever you want to call him, the world's strongest man, whatever you want to call him, the Shaq Attack, the big jabber Shacky, whatever you want to call the man. He's one of the greatest big men to do it. Another line in that lineage of Laker great bigs. One of the best personalities to ever come through basketball. Even now as a commentator, one of the better personalities. When he got a doctorate, one of my favorite players of all time. Literally, when you want to be a big man growing up, you should watch tape on Shaq. Shaq has been one of the best players that we had the privilege growing up to see, unless somebody in here didn't watch basketball growing up, that we had the privilege to see. And I think he wholeheartedly deserves it. And then my man, Allen Iverson. Y'all know how I feel about Allen Iverson. One of the most slept on. Allen Iverson had basketball shoes with no shoelaces. Allen Iverson had a basketball shoe with his face on the bottom, and it sold. He's a guy that literally made wearing baggy clothes and having tattoos acceptable. He's the guy who made cornrows popular. His cornrows are popping so good, Kawhi Leonard still got them. Allen Iverson is honestly one of the best things to ever happen to basketball. When you're a rookie and you come in and you drop 25 on Michael Jordan's head, he took a team with Eric Snow to the finals and ended Tyrone Lue's career in one move. And looked at him like he was stupid. Like this man, Allen Iverson, was one of the greatest to ever do it. Allen Iverson was honestly, again, one of those players where I didn't see anyone who Allen Iverson wasn't their favorite. Yeah, Kobe was your favorite. Everyone was like, nah, Allen Iverson. Everyone wanted to wear number 3 when they went to rec league. Everybody wanted to be Allen Iverson. And for this guy,
some 8s out there.
There's a couple 8s, but I'm saying every point guard that I knew wanted that number 3. Right. Every single point guard wanted that number 3. He literally made being a scoring point guard cool. Like that was never a thing. He made being a scoring point guard cool. Like you could jack up 20 shots at point guard and nobody look at you weird anymore. As long as you had that headband and them cornrows, we knew that you had to go in. Like,
hey, don't forget the elbow one.
Exactly. He had the elbow thing. Like my man Allen Iverson makes a lot of things that are happening in the NBA right now possible. Like this whole Steph Curry doing the crossovers, doing that crazy stuff and shooting. Back in the day, they would have looked at him like ball hog. But now Allen Iverson came to the league and changed the game for everyone. Allen Iverson is a player that transitioned from old school to new school seamlessly. He was dropping buckets. And then, of course, what's going on the practice. Not a game. Not a game, Brendan.
Not a game.
But practice, man. Practice.
I'm here dropping 25 on heads, and you talking about practice.
I'm here dropping 25 on players. I'm talking about practice. What 4-time All-Star, 5-time scoring champ is getting in trouble about practice? Not a game, but practice.
Yeah, man. It's funny. Allen Iverson is great. All right, Rashad, what do you think? What did these guys mean to you?
If we're going, I'm gonna try to go the same order Rudy did. So I can do what he did. You know, you got Yao Ming coming out, and actually one of the most for a player that no one expected to be, he was dominant.
Yeah.
He was not. If he could have stayed healthy, Steve Francis could stay healthy, and T Mac could stay healthy, we probably talking about a dynasty there in that Houston Rockets team, because that team was phenomenal. And then, like you said, unfortunately, the injury, like Yao Ming was like that 7-footer was like, oh, he's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be good. And he just came out, and everybody was like, oh, whoa.
Hey guys, another Chris Humphrey.
Yeah, that's exactly what they thought. And so, like, you just see everything he's done, and like, for the people who was like, he doesn't deserve to belong in the Hall of Fame, you're tripping. You're crazy. You're wilding. This man is great. Foot injury ruined his career. He would have still been great. Now, Shaq was that big man that made the NBA exciting. Like, you wanted to go see a rim get broken, a backboard get shattered. You wanted to see that happen because Shaq was the man to do it for you. And you see what he did with Kobe, him and that Lakers team, how they created a dynasty, how he won championships, how just Shaq's personality and himself, like Rudy was saying, like everything Shaq was about was favored by people. Just how great Shaq is. And it carries over now to his commentating, and he's even better then because Shaq is he's more off the loose now.
Pretty good rapper.
Hey, remember the album that came out? Hey, don't forget about that album. And then and then my man Allen Iverson, the one dude who could have chose any sport he wanted to play. I mean, went on the football field, won a state championships, just run all over people. Then you got to come out of basketball, dropping points on everybody's heads. Allen Iverson's such a savage. When they changed the rules, you had to wear suits. He said, "What suit?" So he said, "What suit?" I'm wearing my baggy clothes still, and they did nothing about it. That's how you know you're a savage. Still wearing the baggy clothes. Hey, for the Hall of Fame picture, everybody was in suits, but Allen Iverson.
He had 4 chains on, a white tee, baggy pants, and some Air Force One.
That's how much of a savage you are.
Cocaine whites, to be exact. Not the high top, the low top.
All right, keep going.
So you look at it like that's just how great it is and everything like that, and what he's done, how great of a scorer he's been. You know, at times where he's averaging 30, carrying his team, it's just crazy to see. And that so this Hall of Fame class is well deserving.
All right, Khaled, what do you have to say about these 3 guys?
I mean, the time in the league, their whole experience is unspoken. I mean, you already know what it is. Yao Ming, the first face, the international face of the league, he came in and dominated and just being that guy that everybody loved. The fact is he was an American, so everybody gave him that love. And it was crazy because he's from a whole different place. He was completely different from us, but he still came in the game. He was holding it down defensively. Him and the Rockets, they were just winning. They were just doing their thing. And sadly he did in his career on the foot injury, and he didn't get any championships. But he still had an amazing run, and he still did what he just did. He had an amazing time in the league. AI, that man, get everything to AI. He just changed the league visually. The whole baggy jeans, tattoos, the cornrows, like Rudy said. Make Kawhi Leonard keep his, and just the whole experience at AI was just crazy. His cross up game, he did Michael Jordan dirty. Ended Tyronn Lue career. Sadly, we'll do that to that man, and he's just one of the best players to ever do it. Scoring first, scoring for his point guard. And he's just a phenomenal player, just fun to watch. People love it. Oh my god. And Shaq. People still love Shaq to this day. His commentating is one of the funniest. Him and Charles Barkley. That whole dynamic with them is just hilarious.
I love watching Inside the NBA. I love watching.
Bruh, it's just amazing. And you can't slouch his game either. He was one of the most dominant big men in the game. He owned the post. He went to several teams and won championships. So he was just a winner. The whole thing about him being a big man, and he just knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
And Shaq is just one of those players that you just got to give him endless props because he came in, breaking baskets, breaking the glass. So that's just how I feel about it.
See, Yao Ming definitely has been one of the most transcendent foreign players to play this game. Not even he was productive, but just the impact he's had on human life and what he's done as a humanitarian. If people knew what he's done for the nation of China, India, all these places, what he's done for elephant preservation, Yao Ming's one of the greatest people you'll ever meet, ever talk to. Ginormous people, one of the most ginormous people you ever meet too. And you hear all these guys when they talk about a Yao Ming, and you talk about, Michael Jordan might have been what was popping coming into the 90s. He was the guy that made basketball a global thing because he made the Jordan brand a global thing. And then Kobe might have been the international guy. Everybody's like, we love Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like coming into the 2000s. Yeah, because Kobe, Kobe was the more popular in China than Yao Ming was. But Yao Ming, what he's done for these places, like he's made it, him and players like Dirk Nowitzki and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker have made it. So when you find these foreign guys, you realize that there's talent in these foreign places. And now you see a guy like Kristaps Porzingis. You see some Yao Ming in him. You see some Dirk in him. And you see the way that these guys have affected this game. And Yao Ming definitely has left his imprint on the game. He well deserved the Hall of Fame. And like we said, the foot injury, unfortunately, it plagues a lot of bigs. And it's unfortunate his career ended that way. But it's good to see that he's taken it beyond basketball to advance his humanitarian efforts. Then Allen Iverson, man. I never forget being a kid watching the 2001 finals. 2001 finals. And of course, I'm a Laker fan, and I'm sitting here watching this game, and I'm watching game one. I'm just like, what on earth? What is going on? I'm like, we have the way more dominant team, the better team. We have Kobe Bean Bryant. We got the Diesel. We got the MDE. He's most dominant ever. We got the big Aristotle. There we go. And then this man, Allen Iverson wins them a game. I was like, oh no. Oh no, Allen Iverson, even though Jordan was essentially the one who started the baggy shorts and everything like that in basketball, but when he because Jordan would buck the whole system of having to wear the short shorts, he wasn't doing it after he wasn't doing it. But then Allen Iverson was the guy that, because Jordan, I never forget what somebody said. I think it might have been Chris Brown who said Jordan is basketball, but Allen Iverson was the guy that manufactured basketball because of the way he made us view basketball differently. He was a miniature guy. Cool. Yeah, he made it so cool. Like you saw Bow Wow had the cornrows, and then it was no coincidence. It was no coincidence that him and Bow Wow were in the Like Mike movie with one another. And then he said boo. But Allen Iverson did make the whole. You saw after Allen Iverson got his tattoos, we started seeing a wave of NBA players getting tattoos. Now you see everybody have arm sleeves, they got the whole chest thing. Allen Iverson was the guy that brought that in. Because Allen Iverson's been through a lot of controversy in his career. It's not like he hasn't had his controversy at Georgetown, everything that's gone down when he got incarcerated. Allen Iverson's been through a lot, and it's when you see how he's gotten to this point. It's one of those things. His underdog mentality is how he's been his whole life. He's from this Newport News area, and he comes back and visits Virginia from time to time. You know what I mean? And he always has made it a point to come back and not be one of the guys, because you see why Allen Iverson never wears the suits. He doesn't like wearing he always makes sure he wears his baggy clothes, because Allen Iverson takes it personally to always be sure that he never turns his back on the people from the hood. And he never wants to be that guy that he goes back to the hood and they're like, you're a sellout, because he knows that's where he came from. While some people might view that as, hey, that's controversial, blah, blah, blah. He always wanted to make sure he could come home and be able to go into any hood. Because Allen Iverson's the guy that can go into Compton. Nobody's going to say nothing to Allen Iverson. That's Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that for all these NBA guys. A lot of these guys will get stopped like, yo, who you with? You know what I'm saying? But Allen Iverson's the one guy, he don't got to be with anybody. Allen Iverson can walk through Compton by himself. He can walk through the freaking Harlem by himself. He can walk through anywhere. He can walk through the Bronx by himself. Allen Iverson, nobody's touching Allen Iverson. He's that one guy that nobody's going to trifle with. Then you look at Shaq. Shaq's impact. Shaq, I mean, arguably the most dominant guy to play the game. Just him and Kareem and Michael, most dominant players to be in the game. There's a reason why people talk about this Golden State team and them playing the Bulls. It's interesting to talk about if Golden State could have beat the Lakers of that time. And then because who's going to stop Shaq? You know what I'm saying? And then it's interesting. I remember a few years ago, Shaq was saying that the Lakers could have beat that Bulls team. And you look at those kind of things, and it's because, and we all make it a debate because who's guarding Shaq? Like, Shaq was unstoppable. And Shaq's also been one of those guys who made his antics and his fun, his jokes. Him and Kobe, if they would have stayed together, you argue they could have won for more rings. But Shaq has always been that fun guy. And it looks like Rudy wants to say. What do you want to say, Rudy?
Who's guarding Derek Fisher? The real glue to that team.
Anyway,
don't ignore
Shaq
me.
Shaq was a great. He won 3 championships with the Lakers. Won one with the Miami Heat, and then he's a Finals MVP 3 times with the Lakers. You look at Shaq's career. I mean, he's one of those guys, the stand-up guy, like Khalid alluded to earlier. You have to watch him and Charles Barkley on Inside the NBA every Thursday night. It feels like, or whatever they air the games on TNT, because those guys are always hilarious. Him, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, those guys are all so funny, and it's just like a perfect crew. And Shaq has always just been that guy that brought that fun to the team. And you ask different teammates. You ask LeBron James, you ask Kobe, you ask Derek Fisher, you ask all these guys, and they say Shaq was definitely one of the best go-lucky, go-happy, fun guys. And he also was a mean competitor. And Shaq made it. Shaq was one of the people that made it cool for the big guys. Like his time in Orlando, he made it cool for the big guys to dribble the ball up the court, to run the fast breaks. Shaq did all those things. Man broke rims. We haven't seen anybody do that since. They had to adjust it because of Shaq.
Breakaway rims.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He broke rims, he broke backboards. The dude was so dominant. He just couldn't be stopped. Yeah, so congratulations to those three on making the NBA Hall of Fame 2016 class. It's well-deserved. Their careers have, they'll be transcendent beyond the game for years to come. But we're going to